Back in the day, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was viewed as Disney's folly. Well, with the live-action remake coming around the bend, it sounds like this thing might cost more than $400 million before it ever hits theaters. Now we've got the trailer, and it seems like everybody, even the people on the left, dislike this movie. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place. Good morning to you all. Let's talk about Snow White. Before we really get started, let's look at this right here. First of all, if you got the extension that allows you to see the YouTube dislikes down here, 227,000 dislikes on a trailer that's been viewed 4 million times, only 17,000 likes. Oops, what did I do? Right there. It's a shame it didn't bring it up to 228. I'm just going to tell you, I'm not a fan of this trailer, but there are reasons for that, and I will explain them as we go through a little bit of a live reaction on this. But first, a little bit of history. First of all, if you want to read the article over here, Snow White trailer dislike ratio explodes in first 24 hours on YouTube. Here it is. Marvin over here from That Park Place, an excellent writer, and you should go read the details. There's a lot of history here that you may not get elsewhere, but look at that right there, 195,000 as of the writing of the article. Need to go over here. Kotaku, they tend to like Disney things. Snow White's live action Seven Dwarfs are pure nightmare fuel. First of all, kudos to them. It is dwarfs and not dwarves. Tolkien came along and changed it to dwarves. By the way, back in the day, it used to be dwarfs. And he was right and he was correct. But when Disney made his, they were dwarfs instead of dwarves. But look at all that right there. That would look a little off even in a fully CGI film. But there you go. Of course, the main thing that we want to point out, because we try to do the big level stuff here, Rachel Zegler Snow White reboot snubbed and ignored by Bob Iger during Q4 Disney earnings call. That's from November. He was also talking about all, and by the way, if you weren't on that earnings call, he named almost every single release that Disney is going to have at theaters and somehow missed a film that is going to cost them $500 million once you include marketing right here. So this thing has to make a massive amount of money in order to make its money back. He didn't mention it on the previous earnings call either. Also, a couple of interesting items here. Way back in December of last year, Rachel Zegler claimed Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is a monumental moment in film history, previously described the film as extremely dated and weird. That is, of course, a perfect Rachel Zegler impression right there. How dare you imply otherwise? But let's get to this right here. I actually want to talk about this trailer right now because there's a lot to unpack here. I'm a big fan of the original. I think the original is one of the best films ever made. I think it is a masterpiece. There's a reason that this company has stood for like 100 years since this thing came out. Obviously, the film itself, 1937. Most people saw it in 1938 because it was a December premiere. It's an important movie. But anyways, let's get into some of the thoughts here on the trailer. Oh my, let's go.
This was my father's kingdom, a place of fairness, but the queen.
Okay, so if you describe your kingdom as a place of fairness, as the primary doctrine there, I'm going to say that rings a few bells that make me worried what kind of implications they're going to be putting there from a political standpoint. Of course, they might just mean that there's no caste system or something like that. It's possible, but the real problem is of course the magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all? In the original, obviously referring to someone who is fair-skinned. That's the original legend. I'm not making any statement on someone's race. It was a Germanic folk tale. So if they're talking about fair skin, they're probably talking about someone who is not roughened by the sun or having to go out and work. It was a different, I mean, we got people dying at the age of 30 because they work so hard. I know historically speaking, that also averages out with infant mortality and all that stuff. So they are trying to change the definition of fairness according to the magic mirror here. So they're already going base level that they're changing everything here before we even get to the fact that you've cast someone who is tan as Snow White, which, you know, we all know what's going on there, and I'm not trying to get into a long discussion of that. But anyways, here's a lady with a ring.
Changed everything.
Take him away!
Your Majesty,
What did you say?
the people need some kindness.
You know, I really don't remember you being this opinionated.
Oh, she's evil, isn't she? She doesn't want her women to have opinions. Obviously, she's a woman too, but she's the evil queen. She's taken over the entire country. She doesn't. Rachel Zegler's character here doesn't quite strike me as a scullery maid, but maybe that'll change as we get more information. Oh, by the way, they keep going back to this doom doom. They're trying to call back to hi ho, which is an interesting thing to put in when you're trying to put an epic feel on, hi ho, it's off to work we go. That's a very jolly song. So I don't know exactly what they're going for here. Maybe it's just the only song left because they can't go for I'm wishing or someday my prince will come or any of the songs that were very much pointing to romance because apparently Rachel Zegler says that this movie isn't all about that.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all?
Okay, sorry to pause it right away, but she did go for the original here. It's not Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. It is Magic Mirror on the Wall in the original. So props to them for that. But this CGI Magic Mirror character, I got to say, I'm not a fan.
Famed is thy beauty, Majesty. But the lovely maiden I now behold.
I look at you, and I just want to be the fairest of them all.
It's so weird. It's so weird, to quote Rachel Zegler. The political thing, I think that's definitely what they're going for. The trailer starts with, this is a place of fairness. For her to go to the mirror and ask who is the fairest of them all, is she trying to say that she wants to be so pretty that it doesn't matter that the other kingdom was fair? I don't know what they're going for here. Maybe I'm completely misreading this, but the fact that they're going to be doing some kind of revolutionary thing makes me I think they're going for the political here. Also, it's important to note that the original Snow White ended with Snow White leaving and going to the prince's castle. Sounds like Snow White's going to be stepping into her power. Oh, great.
The queen is evil. You must flee into the wood.
Okay, this just bugs me. This is such a small, petty thing. No. I thought that this sword right here went below the level of the box. Interesting way to lock a box, though.
The queen is evil. You must flee into the woods.
Also, why do you have to make the black guy into the guy that's sent to kill Snow White? Seems a little weird that the evil queen would assume that the black guy would be the one who was willing to kill Snow White.
My parents always said this forest was a magical place. Hello? Is there anybody here?
That is a huge set of beds right there. Okay, in the original, Snow White is large and they have all 7 dwarfs' beds all lined up in a row. In this case, they have 3. I can understand why that is. Not quite the original image here. Dopey, Sneezy, Happy. Why does Sneezy get the one that stands out here? I don't know. We'll have to ask the production people. Also, not a fan of the overly auto-tuned hi-ho. It's just strange. These guys, they look like DreamWorks characters from, well, early DreamWorks full animation. They don't quite work for me in live action, or whatever you want to call this.
It's a human.
What did you think I was?
Nothing. Ghost.
I think that's supposed to be a joke.
You'll be safe from the queen here.
The queen stole everything from all of us.
I'm gonna need your help.
It's time to restore our kingdom.
That was not a plot in the original one, but here we are. It was actually a lot more vengeful on the part of the queen because she had to seek out Snow White out in the woods, living her best life out there with the 7 dwarfs in the cottage. but couldn't leave that to be, because she still wasn't the fairest in the land. So it was vengeance on the part of the queen to turn herself into someone who is outwardly ugly in order to go after Snow White there. But here we are. We got dancing in the streets. I guess it is going to be a musical.
Waiting on a wish, holding out for someday, hoping somehow, some way, there comes a miracle.
Find Snow White.
I close my eyes and see the girl I meant to be.
This is our
It's not a great shot.
Kingdom, and now we're here to take it back.
You were saying. I'm sorry, my dear. Did I frighten you?
It's a miss for me. This is really not where it's at. I don't understand what Disney's doing. I don't understand why they can spend this much money and this is the best that they've got. Mark Webb, I think, is the director of record on this. He's the guy who was in charge of the Amazing Spider-Man films. I actually like the first Amazing Spider-Man. I think we can all agree that the Amazing Spider-Man 2 ended up with a lot of studio interference. Greta Gerwig, who is the screenwriter on Barbie, I believe she's also associated with this production, or maybe I'm misremembering that. So there are so many things that I don't understand exactly why Disney is doing what they're doing here. They didn't bring in like an Alan Menken here to try to do additional songs. I'm not hearing a lot about the people who wrote songs for this. I think actually maybe Pasek and Page, the guys who did La La Land, I think they're associated with this as well. So this is the kind of thing that if you describe it on paper, it should be successful. And yet this is the trailer that they've got. It is about as good as you would imagine somebody who wasn't associated with Disney coming up with an AI version of what they think the trailer would look like. In fact, I bet if you search on YouTube, there's probably some fake thing that says it's the Snow White trailer that is just cut shots from different things that have Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot in it. That is probably a better trailer than this one, but I don't know. Are you guys planning on seeing Snow White? I know that I have to see it, but it's part of my job. What do you think about this? Are you one of the many people who already left a dislike on that trailer? Or even more interesting, are you one of the people who left a like on that trailer? I'm asking you, I'm not telling anybody to go do anything here. Or why is it that Disney trailers tend to get massively disliked on YouTube? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Of course, like this video if you like this video, or dislike this video if you dislike this video. It's all up to you. And of course, if you haven't done it, consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media account.